because I'm about to hit y'all. My name is LeeAaron Berks. That is Lee, capital Aaron, Berks, Berks. I am 19, black, and I speak about pain with pain. But don't let this pain be mistaken for a threat. I am outraged, I am angered, but I do not act on hatred. Speak on behalf of the organization Black Leaders Movement. I come to speak about mental health and education systems and racism in schools. This works at any level, but since I only got 5 minutes to elaborate corruption in education, I'll focus on high school for today. We all know things that can cause stress, but what does too much stress cause? Anxiety, depression, lack of focus, overwhelmed, all major factors that can make it feel impossible to learn. Students are just barely passing classes to enter a new class that are even more difficult, and they take in even less knowledge. To make these students struggle even more, bullying has never had a decline, and with social media evolving, cyberbullying evolves to stay alive. Outside school situation for most high school students, we'll just leave it at tough, to say the least. This is where trauma plays a part in our school systems. How many students suffer silently from suicidal thoughts, PTSD, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia? I got a whole list. But students go about their day regularly because they don't even comprehend the depths of the mental pain they have suffered. If I lost a limb and survived, I will most likely go into shock. For where I'm in a state where my brain cannot comprehend the physical pain my nerves and I feel. Today we're speaking of mental pain. We need more mental health specialists and mental health awareness in our schools. This will be a major improvement for learning capabilities and in actual progress throughout the year, as many students, time is money, are wasting their time in school since they aren't learning. Graduation rates will increase, leading to more students in college and higher level jobs. Educating mental health will help students' education progress overall. To make it more direct as to why this need to come with urgency, the trauma by racism. For viewers' knowledge, there's 3 types of trauma: acute, chronic, and complex. Most trauma is caused by, I'm sorry I have to use this language, rape, domestic violence, natural disasters, severe illness, death of others, not just a loved one, and witnessing an act of violence. Research yourself how many views the death of recently viral video of a murder had. Hint, the police was the murderer, and that was millions of views across the world seen. When we speak of trauma, we think of soldiers who come back from war. There are over 20 million vets in the US. How many have suffered from depression, drug abuse? Because a lot are homeless, a lot were failed by the system, your system. And when we speak depression, drug abuse, and poverty, are these not symptoms of the Black community too? I won't go into drugs and smoke devices that have taken over the youth in recent years, since it's the only stress relief many students have. But still, I am concussed from school systems that still are unequal for colored students to learn, to thrive. We have been traumatized for the last 400 years plus. It has already affected our DNA genetics. It wasn't acknowledged, it was ignored. This is how slavery survives, how segregation and racism has thrived in our school systems. Because now they know the school programs and systems that are here today, the majority of the minority lands a spot in the jail cell than a spot in the college class. With the events around the world, Black students are constantly traumatized, chronic and complex trauma. And you don't think J.S., I won't say his name out of respect, had family and friends who loved him? How do they go back to school in a few months to learn, to be educated, while they are constantly ignored? There is not enough acknowledgments of the history of Black Americans. Black stress and racism in the education system exist here in Lincoln. And I don't have paperwork to prove or credit my works, but my experience being in LPS, Lincoln Public Schools, for over 18 years, I shouldn't need any more proof than myself, because I am an example as I experienced the racism myself. It wasn't thugs and gangsters who destroyed E-Z-Go and downtown buildings recently. It was students. It was citizens of our community. It was also students and citizens who created a change, redirected the protest to a beneficial, healthier community. Not the police or National Guard. Y'all just made it worse. I call on legislation to do your job because someone else will. The words under your name is not you, it's your title. Titles can change. With knowledge as my guidance and my people as my strength, these new leaders of the next generation will not fail. Just because the city doesn't riot doesn't mean we are being peaceful. A protest has many forms. It's not only black students who are struggling to learn in our education system, All of our races suffer in our unique ways. Next time I'll be speaking of imprisonments and the corruption in Nebraska will be exposed. This is not a threat, this is a change, and change is coming. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Berks.